So subsequently, that came to the Nevada Highway Patrol, signed a contract with Auto Return, and they made this administrative fee a new tax across the entire state of Nevada without any due legislative process. They took away your rights there to vote on it, and they gave it to the Nevada Transportation Authority, who, through a tariff modification for one carrier, modified the tariff for every carrier in the state of Nevada. And therefore now, every car that I collect through the Highway Patrol, when I'm cleaning up accidents and cleaning up junk, I gotta pay a California company $25 as a pass-through fee. Now, a pass-through fee, you would think, well, that's not so bad, the customer's gonna pay him, right? Oh, no, that doesn't happen that way. When the customers abandon the cars and I gotta sell them for scrap, I gotta pay a California company $25 a time. Now, strange thing about the contract with the Nevada Highway Patrol, there was an ex-Highway Patrol guy that had recently retired and magically became a contractor for this auto return company. Gee, I wonder how the kickbacks happened.
Okay, so you're not going to have time to
I think I don't know how long you've been in business on your toes, but I think part of that was, because I remember years ago, the tow companies used to argue that they were supposed to be on rotation.
Oh yeah, I've been doing this for decades, man.
And that I don't know the name of your company, so I'm just going to say Company B, Company A, Company B, Company C are all supposed to be a rotation. I think it was monthly, wasn't it, or was it?
Well, it all depends on the municipality or the agency you're working with. So, for example, Reno Police is every other company. Nevada Highway Patrol used to be every other company. But when regulations all of a sudden change without any notice to business, and that's what this auto return thing did, and it started charging this money, and the legislature never talked about it. The legislature never got to deal with the money that I'm paying out of my pocket to benefit the Highway Patrol's budget so that they can use an outside source to do all of these things. I'm paying a tax that I never voted for, that you never voted for, and that I never got any due process to even argue about. I never got a small business financial analysis like the law says I'm supposed to get.
And I think, and you are right, there is, for regulations, there is a process that they have to announce, have various public hearings, and then it has to go before the legislative commission for approval. I'm surprised, are the tow companies part of the Nevada Trucking Association?
No, I don't like that guy. That guy,
okay.
That guy, years and years and years ago, I talked to him and he said, well, just join up and pay me the membership dues and I'll call you back. Now remember, I called you a few months ago back in October is when Eddie gave me your number. That's when I called you. You didn't call me back. So that, in my world, I try to respect people and call them back most of the time if it's about something.
What number did you call? The same number?
I don't, it's in my text messages with Eddie. I'd have to go look. I'm driving right now.
That's unusual for me not to respond, and I will say, we're a part-time legislature. We only have staff during the 120 days, and we're expected to also maintain our rest of our life with children, grandchildren, wives. I sit on several boards at the hospital and some other nonprofits. So it is unusual because most people will say just the opposite about my responsiveness to them. So I'll apologize for missing your call for whatever reason, and I'm sure you may have been negligent at some time in your life on missing a call. But that's not the excuse. I'm just telling you. But getting back to your more specific issue that I want to learn more about, I remember years ago when I was talking about those tow companies on rotation, wait till I get to my question for you. A Company B would argue that XYZ law enforcement was favoring Company A more on the, I guess you call them the better tows or and they got more calls than B did, and that C got more, that was favored over B, over A, and they were looking for a third party, a fairer way of doing it, and that may have been why. I'm curious, did this solve some of that problem, or am I wrong that I just tend to remember that, particularly in the larger communities, being Washoe and Clark, there was an argument over favoritism.
Well, in Clark there was absolutely. And that was driven largely by Ewing Brothers and Snap Towing. The Ellis family owns Snap Towing, so E&E Storage Solutions. And they were also, those two companies and those families were the ones that got the storage yards going. And guess who made all the money off the storage yards? And guess who got all the law enforcement tows once those regulations were made? The two companies that were complaining, the Ewing Brothers and the Ellises. So the people that were complaining about it being unfair were the ones that got the regulations changed, and they got all the business away from all the small companies down in Vegas. Now, up in northern Nevada, there is a Nevada Towing Association now, and I was the man that went around to all the tow operators up here in the north when all this came around, and I'm the guy that got the towing association started. I was the first president. So as far as up here in the north, when auto return came in, all of the tow operators up here in the north got together and we put our numbers together and we said, what does law enforcement look like for us? Is it fair? Is it not fair? And when we all sat down, because we had a mutual interest in not doing auto return, and we looked at it and we go, all of our numbers are about the same. There was no favoritism when we all sat down and compared numbers side by side. Some people were getting good tows one day, the next day you were getting the garbage tows. You take the good and you take the bad. That's how contracts work.
You're right.
But the towing association in the state of Nevada actually formed partially because auto return came in and as a way to resist it. And initially when auto return came in with the towing association, there was a memorandum of understanding about things that were supposed to happen, and those things that were agreed upon when they allowed it to happen never happened either. But that's back when I think Gibbons